My name is Nitin and I am the lab engineer here at Florida Institute for Cybersecurity Research. So I think you guys now are already a bit familiar with the scanning electron microscope. I'm going to show you the another part of this microscope, which is known as the focused ion beam, FIB. So what exactly is focused ion beam? So if I will try to explain it to you in layman's language, if you want to dig a hole in the ground, you have to remove the sand from the top of it, right? Similar is the case over here. When we get in any kind of an IC, from the back side there is a silicon over it, okay, and we have to remove that silicon so that we can reach to this region, which you can see over here in the image. How we do that, how we remove that area, that silicon, to reach to this desired location. This is where the focused ion beam is used. Focused ion beam is basically a beam of ions instead of electrons or photons or the light photons, okay? It's just the beam of ions made up of a particular element. For example, there are different ion beams, which are, some of them are made up of gallium, some of them are made of compounds like xenon, fluoride, some of them are made up of helium, neon, right? What exactly it does? As you all are familiar with the high school chemistry, that the ions are much more bigger in size as compared to electrons. So instead of the electron beam, if I am going to put the ion beam from this top over the surface, what it's going to do is, as they are bigger ions, they are pretty much heavier, they hit the surface of the sample and they just remove the atoms from there. Like the way we did that, if I hit a ball, okay, with another ball, it will remove that previous ball from its location. That's what exactly is happening over here. When the ion beam is coming over the sample surface, it's removing the atoms from there, and this is how we remove the material from the surface. Now, this can be used in various different applications. I just gave you the simple idea that how we can just remove the samples area, like for the which is made up of silicon. But we can use it for different other purposes. For example, if I have to go deep down at a particular location in my IC and look only at a particular feature, and for example, if I have to just remove that feature from that area and see that how my chip will behave after that, okay? So it's basically, this is what focused ion beam can also do. It can go to a particular location and remove very small tiny features, which we call in our language as editing. So basically we are editing the circuit of an IC, okay? So this is what focused ion beam do. So this instrument has both the things, the scanning electron microscope as well as focused ion beam. So the one thing removes the material and another thing takes the image. And when we compare it with our golden layout, then this is where we can find out that if there is any malicious activity present in our circuit, which can be vulnerable for it, okay? Because we are surrounded by circuits from everywhere, from our watches all the way to the spacecraft engines, okay? So that's the reason that the hardware physical inspection and the hardware security is such a really big and important thing right now in the present world, because we are all surrounded by the circuits and the ICs. So this is just a combined, it's a combination of both this electron beam as well as the ion beam, which helps you up to understand it up in a better way, okay? So this is what this is about. Now I'm going to show you that sometimes what happens, that these ions which I am using to remove a particular structure, or I should say, or I am going to remove a material from a very small location, sometimes that location is much more smaller than their capability. Sometimes the editing, I should say, I am going to do is around 5 to 10 nanometers, which is beyond the capability of the system. Okay, so now what I need is, I need another ion beam which has the capability that I can edit it up to such a small level. This is where our another instrument comes up in the lab, which I'm going to show you next.